Hello. How we doing today? My name is Spectrum Dominus, and I will be your breaker this afternoon for this What's in the Box Wednesday. This is episode 36 on May 10th. We are opening baseball vending box 1991. Now, before we get to that, I just want to quickly comment on the change of surroundings. We have a temporary, this is where we'll be for the next several weeks, maybe even a couple months worth of filming. We are in transition between the old offices and the new offices. This is a bedroom that is a friend's house bedroom. It's just an extra room that they don't use right now, and so I'm able to set up and leave it set up. So we'll be doing all of our filming here, not our breaks, but our What's in the Box Wednesday filming here for the short 2-month-ish period, and then we will be into our new area, which will be semi-permanent for the time being. So it's better than where we were, much better lighting. And when I say where we were, the last 3 or 4 weeks, we'll be back to that, but we'll be in a more permanent setup, and the lighting will be fixed and all that. So even though what you've seen the last 3 or 4 weeks worth is where we will end up being, it is not currently available. And when it becomes available, then it will be our semi-permanent area for quite a while, I think. But that's enough about that. Let's move on to the vending box. This is my second vending box opening. We did a 1988 Topps vending box a couple weeks ago. If you watch the series, I think it was like episode 33-ish. That was really kind of cool. The thing about the vending boxes is you don't get anything special. You are literally searching through for whatever is great about this box. We don't have a specific insert we're looking for. We don't have anything like that. Is not a part of the situation. So with that said, we have, whatever cards were in this, whatever rookies or stars, like the Barry Bonds and the Nolan Ryans that we're looking for, but we're not really looking for anything super special in this. It's just a fallback into nostalgia. For those of you who have been here before, you know that this is a sugar white special, and he brings us the box, and he's looking for certain cards. Cards he's looking for out of this box is the Chipper Jones rookie. Then he wants a base Robin Yount. He wants a Mark Whiten error, and he wants a Bo Jackson base. That's the 4 cards he's looking for. So hopefully we can get him all 4 of those cards. He says with the Chipper Jones, he says hopefully a grade-worthy card. So we're looking for a grade-worthy Chipper Jones, and he also wants a grade-worthy Mark Whiten error, but we don't really know. I've never even seen this error that I'm aware of. So the Mark Whiten error says hand over border at end of bat. So hopefully we get 2 different Mark Whitens. We can look at those. If not, any Mark Whitens we get, I will take to the website later to see if they are the error or the common card. All right, so here we go. Opening the back, as you can see, it's just straight 500 cards. So when you buy one of these, you get a good portion of the set. There's not tons of dupes in there. There you get some, but not tons. And let's switch over to the What's in the Box Wednesday break. And we're just going to take out a select portion of the top up here. And then we should be able to pull out more without tilting the box later. All right, so this was the 40th anniversary of Topps, was 1991. As you can see from the cards here, they had the 40th anniversary. I remember this set well. Collected a lot of these cards. I started dying down a little on Topps and moving more into football at this point in my career. But anyway, in my collecting, football and hockey and stuff like that at that point. But here we go. Let's see what we got. We got Mark Parent, John Orlerud, Gary Gaetti, Alvin Davis, Tommy Green, Mark Lee, Tim Leary, Paul Molitor, John Shelby, Tony Fosis, Oscar Zarkar, sure, Joe Hesketh, Bill Swift, Clay Parker, Dave Winfield, Dale Murphy. There's a Dave Justice rookie. Now this is, I believe, his first Topps card. He may have a top. Obviously, have a Topps traded in 1990, but he doesn't have a 90 card. A lot of times when you see the cup there, it doesn't necessarily mean it's his rookie card. It means he was an all-star as a rookie, his rookie year type thing. We'll have to, But we got Mike Blowers, Mel Stottlemyre, Mike Stanley, Delano DeShields, Bill Sampson, Mike Witt. We got Stump Merrill, manager for the Yankees, John Dobson, Tony Phillips, Mitch Williams, Todd Stottlemyre, All-Star Bobby Thigpen. It's one of my favorite relievers, all-time closers. Darren Lewis, Candy Maldonado, Terry Kennedy, Tim Jones, John Ceruzzi, Geronimo Pena, Doug Drabeck, Wilson Alvarez, Kelly Gruber, Mike Stanton. Now this is a guy we've collected a lot for Sugar, but a little earlier when all his rookies were like 89-ish. Dave LaPointe, Kurt Miller. That's a first draft pick. So this was before he even got into the bigs. He got drafted as looks like a high school player, which they did a lot back then. Probably still do. Ozzie Smith, Eddie Murray, All-Star, Jack Armstrong, Eric Hansen, Danny Jackson, and Mike Fetters. Let's take out our next section here. Sorry about that, guys. I got a little bit of a tickle in my throat today. Hopefully that goes away. All right, Harold Reynolds, Andy McGaffin, Joe Morgan, Mike McFarland, Joe McGrain, Rex Hudler, Bernard Gilkey, Alan Trammell, All-Star card, Jim Acker, Von Hayes, Matt Williams, Marquise Grissom for the Expos. That's a team that we don't see anymore. Larry Anderson, Lee Guterman, Rick Russell, Tim Cruz, Ryan Sandberg. That's my favorite second baseman right there. Ricky Henderson. Grew up loving me some Henderson when he was on the Yankees. Ricky Henderson is the first big rookie card I ever owned. Greg Olson, him and Dave Winfield were my two big ones. Jesse Roscoe, Jim Eisenreich, Tom Edens, Eric Davis, Bill Long. We got a record breaker, Ryan Sandberg. What'd he break? Throwing error concludes streak of 123 flawless games at second base by Ryan Sandberg. Wonder if that still holds today. Alvaro Espinoza, Mackie Sasser, Kurt Wilkerson, Julio Franco, Jeff Robinson, Dave Gallagher, Alan Anderson, Bob Kipper, Jose Uribe, Todd Hundley, Lou Piniella as a Reds manager, Mark Davidson, John Burkett, Mark McGuire, Milt Kyler, Rodney McCray, Doug Drabeck, All-Star card. Scott Sanderson. Billy Ripken. Ricky Jordan. Junior Felix. Adam Peterson. Bob Welsh, All-Star card. Bill Dorn. Edgar Diaz. Tom Gordon. Ron Karkovice. Jim Gott. Corey Snyder. Greg Olson. Jack Clark. Steve Lake. Roger McDowell. And John Smoltz. That's cool. I like that McGuire card. That's a cool looking McGuire card for back then. All right. More to come. More to come. Here we go. We got future star Rich Garces. Mike Sims. Future star Jose Offerman. Scott Fletcher. Todd Zeal. Dennis Cook. Dave Rode. Gerald Clark. Rookie All-Star rookie card Jeff Hudson. Rick Dempsey. Mark Salas. Brady Anderson. Barry Bonds. Now, nope, he said Bo Jackson, so that's Barry Bonds. Barry Bonds is one of the ones. Mark McGuire is also two that he generally collects, but he didn't in this set. Probably already has them. Moises Alou. Donald Arthur Mattingly. There's my guy. I wish it was cut better, but still, it's a nice card. Mark Gubicza. Charlie LeBrant. Frank Viola. All-Star. Randy Milligan. Rick Parker. Bip Roberts. Jose De Jesus. Kevin Tapini. Tony Pena. Juan Samuel. Steve Farr. Future star Lance Dixon. Rick Mahler. None of these future stars seem to have hit. None of them were future stars. Efrain Valdez. Johnny Ray. Jim Leland, manager of the Pirates forever. Dick Schofield. Bob Welsh. Craig Biggio. Chili Davis. Pedro Martinez. John McNamara. Andy Van Slyke. Matt Noakes. Randy Tomlin. Ron Gant. Julio Valeria. Tim Naring. Joe Girardi, manager of the New York Yankees as a Cub catcher. Tino Martinez. That's got to be close to it. That is his rookie. That's a Tino Martinez rookie. Look at that. Marty Clary. Wally Whitehurst. Denny Martinez. Al Osuna. Kirk Gibson. Lou Whitaker. Louis Polonia. Mitch Webster. Jack McDowell. Dave Walsh. Ron Kittle. Ken Hill. Phil Bradley. Rick Aguilera. Brian Holman. Craig Lefferts. Otis Nixon. Spike Owens. Mark Grace. And Jimmy Key. All right, so we're going to take this little stack done. Stick it right there for now. Giving us a little more room up here. All right. Next stack. Here we got Jeff Brantley. Kirby Puckett. That's my guy. I have a lot of guys. Brian McRae. Brent Nackert. Ozzie Canseco. That's Jose's little brother. Edgar Martinez. Derek May. Carlos Quintana. Lee Smith. Cal Daniels. You know, I say he's Ozzie's little brother, and I sit here and go, you know, I've never confirmed that. It's always assumed from back then, but I don't know that that's 100% true. I believe it's true. Roy Smith. If it's not true, tell me I'm wrong in the comments. It's okay. Brian Smith, first round draft pick, first number one draft pick, Mike Lieberthal. At least that's a name I've heard. Harold Baines, Ray Lankford, Lee Stevens, Tim Burke, Tony La Russa. Look at how young he looks compared to nowadays. Did not age well. Mike Perez. I guess that's time coming for all of us. Frank White, Jody Reed, Matt Sinatro, John Moses, Mike Laver. I know this name too. Okay, he's Jose's brother. Good. I'm good. I'm glad. I'm just making sure. Lavalare, Alex Fernandez, number one draft pick. Greg Vaughn, Don Paul, Glenn Davis, Jose Gonzalez, Jim Lefebvre, manager of the Mariners, Jose Mesa, Tom Bolton, Jeff Treadway, Kent Anderson, Mike Heath, Roger Clemens. Roger looks kind of young there too. I know that is about halfway through his career at that point, but he looks very young in that picture. All right, we got Rob Ducey, Jeff Manto, Carney Lansford, Greg Hibbert, Kenny Rogers, Henry Mullins, Willie Frazier, Dante Bichette. I think that's his second-year card. Jeff McKnight, Chuck Krim, Jerome Walton, Mike Sharpenson, Juan Gonzalez. That may be a Juan Gon Topps rookie. I'm not sure. I know it shows that he played the previous year, but I'm not sure he made enough at-bats to get a 1990 rookie. 1990 rookie. I'll have to look into that. Rance Mulligan, Junior Ortiz, Mark Gardner, Ricky Henderson, Steve Searcy, and manager Tom Kelly for the Twins. All right, we're a little more than a third of the way through. We're about a third of the way through the box. Still not one of the four cards. Still looking for four specific cards for Sugar White. All right, so here we go. Still going. Phil Stevenson, Chris James, Andres Galarraga, Herm Winningham, Willie Blair, Jeff Parrott, Mike Greenwell, Eddie Winston, Carl Nichols. There's a Sandy Alomar rookie, Brad Arnsberg, Arnsberg, John Franco All-Star, Scott Ruskin, Mookie Wilson, Reggie Harris, Brett Butler, Robbie Thompson. Look at that, Steve Avery, baby. Is that an Avery rookie? He looks like it according to the back. He has no professional games till the previous year. That might be a Steve Avery rookie. If it is, I'm a little surprised Sugar didn't say he wanted it. I suspect that there's probably not. It's not a rookie, or he already has one. Gary Ward, Brian Harvey, Nelson Santovina, as a Jose Canseco, Barry Jones, Scott Terry, Chris Hammond, Domingo Ramos, Jerry Brown, Sid Bream, Greg Lipton, Eric Plunk, Terry Schrumpert, Steve Sachs, Steve Lyons, Mike Moore, Kevin Gross, All-Star Ken Griffey Jr., we got a Roberto Kelly, White Sox manager Jeff Torberg, Mike Lacrosse, Steve Frey, All-Star Carlton Fisk, Devin White, Rick Sutcliffe, Dave Magadan, Jack Savage, Xavier Hernandez, Jeffrey Leonard, All-Star Darryl Strawberry, Sean Abner, future star that didn't turn into a future star, Tim McIntosh, Pete Smith, Melindo Perez, Bo Jackson. There we go. Hit our first one for Sugar. We're going to sleeve that right now, guys. Figured if any of them we were going to hit, this was going to be the one. So, there we go. Bo Jackson. That's a nice nice hit for Sugar. Lance Blankenship, Art Howe, Bill Schroeder, Don Carmen, Andre the Hawk Dawson, Gene Harris, Chris Neboholes, Jeff Reardon, Pat Combs, Brett Saberhagen, Lance Johnson, Pat Tabler, Dwayne Ward, Tim Tuffle, Jack Doherty, Alejandro Pena, Mike Bilecki, and Gene Nelson. Clear this out again. Give us a little more room. Halfway done. And we got a record breaker. I think that's a Kevin Moss home run, rookie home run thing. Kevin Moss belts home runs at pace never previously attained in baseball annuals. Yankees Kevin Moss tonight belted his 10th home run of his brief career. It came in his 78th at-bat, set a major league record. The former mark of 10 home runs in 79 at-bats was set by George Scott in 1966. And just like George Scott, Kevin Moss went on to be pretty much nothing after that. Roger Craig, manager for the Giants. Oops, those don't go in that stack. Glenn Wilson, Fred McGriff, Ernie Witt, Charlie O'Brien, Bill Kruger, Rene Gonzalez, Kevin Apier rookie. That's probably the best rookie that didn't show up, that showed up in the stack so far. Chuck Finley, Greg Brock, Jim Presley, Anthony Telford, Don Zimmer. I'm considering putting a Don Zimmer collection together. Terry Pendleton, George Brett, Joe Klink, Chuck Finley All-Star, Mike Walker, Jesse Barfield, Teddy Higuera, Bobby Thigpen, Alan Trammell, Louis Soho, Tom Brunansky, Rick Cerrone, Terry Mulholland, Larry Sheets, Gary Carter, just towards the end of his career as a Giant. Wow. Mark Grant, I don't know why, wow. Oh my gosh, we got one of the old Gary Carter cards. Marvell Wayne, Willie Wilson, Darrell Hamilton, Steve Balboni. Steve Balboni always reminds me, I think I said this last time we got one of his cards, because it reminds me of the Brooklyn Brawler. Like he's a New York guy, and, you know, just, he has that look. And I think the Brooklyn Brawler's name is Steve, something like Balboni. Carlton Fisk, record breaker. Mark Davis, Dave Stewart, Gerald Perry, Greg Maddux, okay. Scott Scudder, Mark Carrion, Sean Andrews, #1 draft pick, Felix Jose, Topps rookie, Mike Scioscia, Hal Morris, rookie of the year, Bobby Witt, record breaker Nolan Ryan, senior citizen among pitchers who have authored a no-hitter. Alan Mills, Tom Kendotti, Joe Carter, Bob Patterson, and Gary Green, and then Walt Weiss. There's a dupe. We've gotten Walt Weiss before. But as far as I know, that was the first dupe. And I may be imagining the Walt Weiss from earlier, too. I don't know. All right, we got Ellis Burks, John Orton, Wally Joyner, Mark Lemke. Games in 88, he had 16. In 89, he had 14. So 102 and 90. That might be a Mark Lemke rookie. I'm going to look into that. That's how we used to do it in the day. We looked and said he didn't have enough games for it to be a rookie, you know. Rory Palacios. We got a Barry Bonds All-Star. Joe Grane. Jeff Gray. Jason Grimsley. Nowadays, you just look on a list and it'll say rookie card or not. And that means, you know. Kent Herbeck. Ivan Calderon. Craig Worthington. Randy Myers. Craig Nagy. Oral Hershiser. Jeff Montgomery. Benito Santiago. I guess they were always a rookie card or not a rookie card, but the way we've defined it, the way we've gone towards understanding it has evolved because of the internet and stuff. As kids, you just looked at the cards and guessed. But now it's a matter of, does he have a card before that? If not, then it's his rookie card. Tom Browning, Jose De Leon, Drew Hall, Nick Eske, Todd Burns, Dave Martinez, Mike Morgan, Turner Ward, Jim DeJesus, Jamie Navarro, Nelson Liriano, Gary Reedus, Mike Boddicker, Mike Doon, Chris Carpenter, Shane Mack, Ruben Sierra, Paul O'Neill, Steve Betterosen, Mike York, Glenn Braggs, Mark Langston, Kevin Brown, Randy Velarde, record breaker Bobby Thigpen with the saves record. Remember that. Ken Howell, Daryl Ackerfelds, Dwight Smith, Jay Bell, Jack Howell, Lenny Harris, Jose Rio, Bill Pagoda, Greg Swindell, Doug Rader, Dickie Thon, Micah Benjamin, Dave Henderson, Jeff Reed, Carmelo Castillo, and manager Bobby Cox. All right, guys, we're in the last quarter of the box. We've only found one of his three cards. I'm assuming we should have no trouble finding a Robin Yount here. I'm going to take 2 stacks about that much. That's all that's left. 2 stacks about that much. We got Bill Beth, Scott Kulbach, Franklin Stubbs, Tommy Lasorda, Wes Gardner, Norm Charlton, Dave Island, Mel Hall, Omar Olivares, Jeff Russell, Neil Heaton, Tom Bagnozzi, Kevin Bass, Billy Hatcher, Bob Walk, Kevin Elster, John Smiley, Ron Robinson, Andres Thomas, Kevin McReynolds, Jeff Hamilton, Randy Bush, Juan Berenger, John Mitchell, checklist number 4 of 6, Atlee Haymaker, Bob Melvin, Paul Sorrento, Lonnie Smith, checklist number 1 of 6, Pascual Perez, Les Lancaster, Felix Furman, Danny Darwin, Eric Anthony, Greg Brinley, Fred Lynn. There's a Larry Walker rookie, Joe Oliver, Henry Cotto, Carlos Martinez, Zane Smith, Pat Borders, Jim Abbott. I think that's his second year card. Mike Fitzgerald, Joe Boever, Lance Parrish, and David Cohn. Small amount left. 0 chance we're getting all 3 in here. And by 3, I even mean Mark Whitten non-error. You know, Definitely not getting the error and the other two cards, but you know, the non-error I thought maybe we'd get. But here we go. We got Scott Bankhead, Nick Lavea, manager for the Phillies, Jamie Quirk, Cecil Fielder, Bruce Hurst, Kelly Gruber, All-Star, Greg Smith, Mickey Templeton, Steve Crawford, Francisco Cabrera, Doug DeCienzo, Dave Holland, Kevin Seitzer, Rob Deere, Sil Campasano, Sid Fernandez, Kurt Schilling. That's close to his rookie, but I know he's got a tops before that. Travis Fryman, Jeff Pico, Dave Parker, Gary Pettis. Seriously, guys, come on. Dave Smith, Keith Comstock, Jim Ganter, Ron Hassey, John Farrell, Tom Hinkie, Dave West, Darren Dalton, Dennis Lamp, Pedro Guerrero, Rod Booker, Joel Skinner, Sparky Anderson, manager for the Tigers, Luis Rivera, Storm Davis, Mel Rojas, George Bell, Kent Merker. That might be his rookie. Dan Plezek, Jim Niedlinger, and a Barry Larkins All-Star card. So that was, yeah, you got the the Bo Jackson, sorry. And I got a bunch of guys, but no Robin Yount. Like, one could argue because this isn't a sealed product, someone went through and took out the Chipper Jones and then sold the rest, filled it with one card. One time, someone could argue that if the Mark Whiten error was in there, that got pulled. But no one would have pulled the Robin Yount and left the Bo Jackson, the Mark McGwire, or whatever. So that's sad. No Robin Yount. All right. Well, next time, hobby. Yes, it's nice opening these vending boxes, but it's clearly you're shooting for just a specific rookie card. You're getting nothing else out of it, and because there's no, it's not that I don't trust where they're coming from. I trust where they're coming from, but they're open boxes already. So it is hard when you don't get the one good card and you have 500 out of 800 cards. You have more than a 50-50 chance of getting it. It's hard to not be a little disappointed and a little, what's the word I'm looking for? Suspicious. There you go. All right, but we're going to top load this Bo Jackson, and I'm going to stick it on top so we can find it. And we're going to repackage this up. But guys, thank you very much for joining us today. We will be here next week, which would be the 17th. We're going to do episode 37. And next week, we're going to do a minis box. All right? It's a 19... what did we decide this was? 90? There's 1986. It's 1986. Super glossy baseball minis, and that's what we're going to open on next. So we'll see you there.